How you doing? You know what? I withdraw the question because you know what? Quite frankly, I don't care. I mean, who does? We're constantly saying how you doing, but we never get the answer to how often you walk down the road. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And nobody ever says how they're doing. You know what I plan to do the next person that says that to me is grab them and sit them down and tell them this is going to take a while. It all began when I was in second grade. And if we would give a long spiel about how we're doing, maybe people would stop asking how you're doing unless they really wanted to know how you doing. Well, that's what I think anyway. So my name's Steve Lemco, and years ago I was known as Mr. Rumadum. It was because I used to drink a little, and then a little more, and a little more, and a little more. But I reasoned that I wasn't an alcoholic because I never ever had a drink before 10 in the morning, and I always got up early around 9:30. So I figured that left me a lot of time to be sober. So one time I was at the bar and having my favorite drink in each hand, and three guys came in and they stood next to me and they started talking about the coincidences of life. And that got me thinking. I said, I have a coincidence that is just totally amazing and mind-boggling. I said, hey guys, listen, I've got one for you. They go, what? I said, well, I was born exactly, not a day before and not a day after. I was born exactly on my birthday. How's that for a coincidence? And they started calling me Rummy and Dummy and Dummy and Rummy, and Mr. Rum and Dum just got born. And that's how I was known as. But, I told those three guys, because they were really leaning on me about being dumb. I said, I'm not so dumb. I said, I can count to 10. I have a little trouble with the odd numbers because they're crookedy. But I do know my ABCs, all of them. I have a little trouble with the other letters, but I know ABC. And once again, I was Mr. Rumadum. So anyway, that night when I was coming home, my car broke down. And I was pretty sloshed, I was sloshed enough to drive, but not sloshed enough to walk. And so I was in trouble, and I was on a country road, and oh no, I gotta pee. But it was okay, country road, there was woods. So I went out into the woods, and I found some bushes, and I peed into the bushes. I'm here to tell you that I am planning to sue those people that own the land, because nowhere, anywhere to be found, was there a sign that said, beware, danger, electric fence behind bushes. Whoa, I'm here to tell you that does not feel good. I strongly recommend to never, ever pee on an electric fence. Don't even try it once. And, after that, I thought, I really didn't feel like walking anymore. And so I decided that I was going to try hitchhiking. And, when you drink a lot and a lot more, your memory starts to fade. And I could not remember what finger to use. So I held up my hand and I just used reasoning. My middle finger is the tallest finger, so that would be the easiest one that people would see. So I went onto the side of the road and I started hitchhiking. I'm here to tell you, there's a lot of rude people out there. They were rolling the windows down and they were saying some pretty bad words. I'm not going to say them. I don't talk like that, but they did. And you know what really, really boggled my mind and confused me a lot was a bunch of drivers were hitchhiking back at me. Now, I thought that was pretty stupid because I was walking. Couldn't they see me walking? What did they want me to do? Give them a ride on my back? Boy, people were so stupid. But I had to get the car fixed right away because I do a lot of things for my mama. She's 92 years old and she has lots of cravings. And she said to me, son, I said, what, mama? She said, I have a craving for blue cheese. Will you go to Walmart and get me some blue cheese? I said, sure, mama, I'll go to Walmart and get you blue cheese. So I got in my car and I drove to Walmart, and then all the parking lot was full, so I had to park way in the back. And then I had to walk all the way into the store. Whew. But then I found somebody. I said, excuse me, sir, where's the blue cheese? He said, oh, blue cheese, it's way over here in the back corner. So I got out and then I walked all the way back to the back corner. And then I started going through the cheeses and I was looking at this cheese and that cheese. There was no blue cheese. The guy tricked me. He made me walk all the way there thinking it would be funny. So I walked all the way back to, and I found him. And I said, hey, mister, you tricking me. There's no blue cheese back there. Where's the blue cheese? He goes, no, the blue cheese is back there. I said, no, it's not. I looked twice. And he said, okay, come on, I'll show you. So we walked together. Moving walkways at Walmart would be a really good idea. Somebody should call Mr. Walmart and suggest that one. And so we walked all the way back to the corner and he dug in the cheese a little bit. And then he got some out and he stuck a clump of it in my hand. So there you go, blue cheese. I said, no, that's not blue cheese. That's white cheese. You see, this is white and this is blue. My mama has cravings, and she's craving blue cheese. She doesn't want white cheese. She wants blue cheese. Then he tried to explain to me that white cheese is blue cheese. And oh, no, that's so complicated. Why couldn't they just make white cheese white and blue cheese blue? Then you would only have to remember one thing. But if white cheese is blue cheese, then you got to remember two things. You get confusing, and I don't understand. I am here to tell you that I am going to sue the blue cheese company for making it white, for false advertising. So anyway, when I got home from Walmart, I noticed that my hair was all kind of messed up. And I said, Mama, my hair's messed up. What can I do? She goes, well, just brush it and put some hairspray in it. Well, I am here to tell you that I am going to sue the hairspray company for what they did to me. You see that little knob on the top? It should be up higher. There should be some kind of extension or something. Because when I sprayed it, it hit me right in the eye and it really stung quite a bit. And I didn't like it at all. Not very much. It stung. So I went running out to my mama. Mama, my eye's broke. It's stuck shut. Help me. What should I do? She says, what happened? I said, I got hairspray in it and it's stinging really bad. And she said, well, go into the bathroom and flush it. My mama was always fast to come up with good ideas. It would have took me a long time to think of that. But I said, okay, Mom, I'll go to the bathroom and flush it. So I went into the bathroom and I got down on my knees and I stuck my eye in the toilet and I flushed it. And the water went and it got a lot of it out. 3 flushes and it was all better. It didn't sting anymore. What a great invention. Then I thought, you know what? My hair's already wet. And I grabbed some shampoo and I shampooed my hair and I stuck my head in there and I flushed it. And you know what? 2 flushes and it rinses the hair out. What a great invention toilets are. But my mama was always smart and she said, son, come here and sit on the couch. This is when I was just a little boy. And I've never forgotten it. And she said, son, never, ever. I'm going to have to say a bad word. I'm sorry. But never, ever scratch your butt in public because people will think that you have hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids. Oh, bad word. So I never did. I suffered a lot. I had a lot of times just grin and bear it, till I got in private. But I never, ever scratched my butt in public because I wanted to make my mama proud of me. I had several experiences in bathrooms that I'll never forget. One time I came home, and I quite honestly don't know how I got home. Somebody brought me, but I was really drunk, and I was laying in bed, and my stomach was just churning, and I was sweating, and the bed was flip-flopping and spinning, and but then, oh no, my stomach gurgled, and I knew what that meant. I've got to go potty. I got to do a number 3. That's 1 and 2 at the same time. So I barely opened up my eye enough just to peek, and I just wobbled into the bathroom. I didn't even bother turning the light on, and I sat down, and whoa! The seat wasn't down, and I fell in. I was scared that my butt was going to drown because little bubbles kept coming up. It wasn't holding its breath, I guess. But I was stuck. I couldn't get out. I kept going up, and I couldn't get it pushed. I could not get out. I must have done that for an hour or so, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. And then I remembered the drawer next to the toilet. I opened it up, and it was still there. There was 3 firecrackers and a lighter. So I grabbed them, and I grabbed the soap dish, and then I took the firecrackers, and I twisted the wicks together, and I set them into the soap dish, and I set the soap dish underneath me in the water, and then I lit the fuse. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you ever get stuck in a toilet and you stick 3 firecrackers under your butt, you will pop right out. You won't have any butt hairs, but you will be free. So just keep that in mind. Keep some firecrackers in a drawer next to the toilet in case you get stuck. And then there was another time I was at the bar with a friend, and he said, hey, come on over to my house. I live with my mama too, and my papa and my brothers and my sisters. And okay. So we go over to his house, and I tell you, it was like going into the Cleaver's house from Leave It to Beaver. They were so prim and proper and etiquettes and lots of big words like that. And I was very uncomfortable, and I was really wanting to go when once again the gurgling feeling came. Oh, no, not now. So I said, excuse me, can I use your bathroom? I didn't tell him I had to poop because I thought that'd be kind of rude to poop in a stranger Cleaver bathroom. So they told me where it was, and I went there, and I was going to be really fast. And that way they thought I did number 1, and then they wouldn't think that I was uncouth, that I would poop in a stranger's bathroom. So I did too. It went really fast. Oh, yeah. And then I looked, and I went, oh, no. Boom, 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 boom. There's no paper on it. Oh, no, I'm at the Cleaver's house. I just pooped, and there's no toilet paper. So I'm trying to think of what are my options. And I thought, I could just pull up my pants and not use any. But then I was pretty confident that would give you itchy butt. And then I'd start scratching, and people would think I had hemorrhoids, and then my mom would be disappointed in me. So no, I'm not going to do that one. So I had to do the other idea. And so I pulled my pants up around my knees, and I waddled towards the door, and I poked my head out and said, excuse me, I just pooped in your toilet, and there's no paper on the roll. Could you please get me some toilet paper? Because I don't want to have itchy butt and have people think I have hemorrhoids. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get around to suing those people for false papering. So I don't know if I mentioned this to you yet, that I used to be married, and my mama, she's got a brother that's pretty rich. So he's my rich uncle. And, well, I ran out of money. But it wasn't my fault. It was the casino's fault. If it wasn't for the casinos, I would have had money. So I'm going to sue the casinos. But I went to my uncle because I had a problem with my wife. I said, rich uncle, I need to borrow $10,000 for an operation for my wife where she's going to die. And he said, well, nephew, how do I know you won't spend that $10,000 at the casino? I said, don't have to worry about that, rich uncle. I've got almost $11,000 put away from gambling. I just need money for an operation or she's going to die. Well, now you know how I became single. So there I was being single, and I thought, I've always wanted to go to New York. I don't know why. You just see it, and it sounds like the Big Apple and all. So I went to the airport and got on the plane. You can drink on a plane. And plus, I snuck in some of my own, so this was pretty good. Flight to New York. And there was this lady sitting next to me. She kind of looked at me kind of strange, and then she laid back. And I thought, she thinks I'm pretty cute. She probably wants me to hit on her. So halfway there or whatever, I keep thinking how much she is wanting me. So I decide I would take my hand and I would put it on her leg. And when I did, she put her hand on my leg, and I went, yeah, this is so good. All right. And then I started to move it around to the right, and she moved hers around the right. And I'm thinking, well, I've heard of the Mile High Club, but this just might happen. And I moved the other way, she moved the other way, and I was so happy about it and everything. And then I looked down and I saw that I was rubbing my own leg. So I wasn't in too good a shape, and I can't even remember how I got to the streets of New York. The last thing I remember, I'm on a plane, now I'm on the streets of New York. I go, wow, that's trippy. And I'm walking down the streets, and this guy comes up to me and he says, excuse me, sir, would you like a flyer? I was like, yeah, I'm tired of walking. I'd like a flyer. He said, here you go. And he hands me a piece of paper. I go, what's this? And I threw it up in the air and it just fluttered down. I said, this is no flyer. This is a flutterer. I'm going to sue you for false papering. And he said, no, it's about pizza. I said, oh, well, pizza what? He said, pizza pie. I said, I love a piece of pie. Do you have apple and whipped cream on top? He says, we don't have apple pie. I said, well, what do you got? He says, pizza. I said, pizza what? Pizza pie. I said, that's what I want, a piece of apple pie with cream on top of it. And this went on and back and forth, and he finally gave up. I think he quit his job. So anyway, I went back to the airport, and I was flying home. And I started thinking about all the fun I used to have in grade school. Because that was before drinking. And it was real fun. And so I remembered a time, it was about second grade or so, and the teacher's asking everybody what their names are, and you would stand up and say your name. And the little boy stood up and says, my name's John, and my name is Carol. And finally, this one little girl stood up and said, my name's Happy Butt. And the teacher said, little girl, that's not funny at all. Now, tell me your real name. She goes, my real name is Happy Butt. She says, little girl, I'm going to ask you one more time. And if you don't tell me, I'm going to make you go home and get a note from your mother telling me what your name is. So what is your name? She goes, my name is Happy Butt. Go home. About an hour later, little girl comes walking back in. She takes the little note she's got. She throws it on the desk with confidence. And the teacher's thinking, no way. And she opens the note. She says, little girl, why did you lie to me? The little girl said, I didn't lie to you. The teacher says, then what's your name? She says, my name's Happy Butt. She says, a little girl right here, a note from your mother says that your name is Gladys. And the little girl says, oh, Happy Butt, glad ass, what's the difference? And the class started laughing and everything, but the teacher didn't think it was very funny. So she decided to get even with us. And she said, I'm going to tell you guys about words and their true meanings. Who can use the word blue in a true meaning? And the little boy says, I know. The sky is definitely blue. And the teacher said, nope. When it's cloudy, it's gray. At night, it's dark. They are not very smart. And sit down. And that really hurt the little boy's feeling. And that made me grunt a little bit. And then I grunted a little bit more. And then I kind of let out a silent fart, the kind. And because she was aggravating me. And she kept doing this. And she said, well, another time she said, who used the word green? And the little boy said, I know. The grass is definitely green. The teacher said, no, in the winter it turns brown. Sit down. You're not so smart. Oh, that really made me grunt and mad. And I raised my hand. And the teacher said, what, Steve? I said, well, do farts have lumps? She said, what? I was thinking she must be hard of hearing. I said, do farts have lumps? And she said, no. I said that I definitely pooped my pants. And then I got up and ran to the bathroom because I didn't like having poop in my pants. It's not a good feeling, especially when you're sitting down and everything. So I had to go take care of that. And so anyway, by the time I got back, she'd moved on. And she was explaining silent letters, like K and night and S and island. I never agreed with them. I accepted them, but it's the stupidest idea anybody ever had in my book. Silent letters. So she got to the word gnaw. The dog gnawed on the bone. G-N-A-W. Gnaw. Silent G. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I couldn't take it. She says, G is the strongest letter in the alphabet. Good. Great. Godfather. I just can't accept that there's a silent G. We got to get rid of that. And she goes, no, you got to understand. You see, it came from another country, and we had to formulate and mix it up, twist it, squish it together, whatever, stretch it out, and it came out G. Because that's the other country's thing. I said, no. I just came out of a history class, and we just learned about a thing called the Revolutionary War. And in the Revolutionary War, my forefathers fought and bled and died for the right to not do what another country wanted us to do. So out of respect for my forefathers that fought, bled, and died, I cannot accept that there is a G in nah. So I was sitting in the principal's office and thinking how I was going to get out of this one when the principal said, "Hey, I heard what you did, and I don't believe in silent letters either." And I said, "Wow, cool." And he said, "But your teacher said I had to talk to you and get an answer out of you. So why did the chicken cross the road?" I thought about that great mystery, and then it came to me. I said he didn't. He chickened out. Okay, my name's Steve Lemco. I'm the king of sit-down comedy, and I appreciate you watching, and I hope that I make another one of these. Be fun. Thanks. Cheers.